Hi, welcome to Excelcoaching. Would like to start with a quote from Benjamin Franklin. Beware of little expenses. A little lake will sink a great ship. In managing our personal finance, a budget is one of the very first important steps. In this session, we'll go through an example of a household budget. But before we continue, I would like to invite you to subscribe to our channel, where on a weekly basis we post recordings aiming to improve financial literacy. In our previous series, Managing Spend Behavior, we discussed the 50-20-30 rule and explained how it is important to have a budget so you can understand your spend pattern. A budget is a simple tool which provides some resolution on the income and expenses. Very shortly, I will take you through an example of what a budget could look like and share with you some useful and important tips. On my screen, you can see what a budget could look like. This particular budget is done on a monthly basis, so you've got January to December as a column, and then you have got an aggregate, which is a full year, which is aggregating each of the months, right? So the first section of the budget is an income. This is where the income for the family, right, is entered. So in this example, we've got two incomes. So one of the income is $5,000 a month, and the second income is $4,000 a month. So this particular family has got a monthly income of $9,000. For the expenses, you will note that we have put them into some categories, which makes it quite easy to follow. We've got the home expenses, where you have got the rental of your mortgage money, your electricity bill, your utilities bill, and so on. Then we've got your daily living, which predominantly is about your grocery and your food expenses. Okay, then we've got a transportation category. This is where you can put your car lease or your costs for using the public transport. Okay, we've got an education section. This is perhaps you're a family and you've got kids going to school, whether it's private school, tuition fees, and so on. Okay, we've got this education section here. We also have got an investment property. Some families may have invested in a property, so we've got a mortgage, which is represented by this line because a mortgage is an expense. But you will also know that I have offset it with income, right? Because an investment property will be giving you an income, right? So in this particular example, you would see that it is actually negatively geared. So you've got your income less than your monthly repayment. But for some people, that's okay because you're investing in that property, perhaps with the view that the property price will grow and you will actually make a capital gains. We can explain that in a separate session, but this is a line for your investment. We also then have the financial obligations. This is where you put your personal loans and your credit card expenses. So in this particular family, we've got a monthly financial obligations for personal loan and credit cards of around $1,600. Once you aggregate all the income and your expenses, you get what you call a surplus or a shortfall. So this particular family, we see across the year, they save around $1,400. So just over, $1,000, $1,200 a month, right? So this is what this family on average is saving. When we look across and we look at some of the analysis of the expenditure, right, you will see that this family currently spends around 61% on the needs, around 20% on the wants, and 19% on savings. If you have got an intention or a goal to increase your saving, it is not rocket science, right? You have what your income is, you've got your expenditure. Whatever you're not spending on your needs or your wants, you can save or invest that. So for now, let's assume your income is fixed, because another way to save more is to get more income, right? To get a casual job, a side job, or start a business or something like that. But for now, let's assume you cannot grow your income, which means you need to live within that means. So every year you have got $108,000 in that house. You need to make sure you tackle your expenditure for your needs and your wants. Okay, we've discussed before, personal loans and credit cards are very bad expenses. So in this example, we have got the family spending around $1,600 every month on personal loans and credit cards. For a moment, let's assume you have got some money, you've worked very hard, you've put aside some money, and you are able to repay this debt completely, right? If you repay this debt completely, and let's just delete that, so straight away your needs drop from 61%, which it was previously, to 50%. All right. So, and what happens next? Because you now have extra cash in your pocket, you can actually save that. So your savings goes from $1,700 roughly to nearly $2,700. So your savings goes up by $1,000. So whatever you've not spent on that personal loan, you can potentially save that. Okay. Another point I wanted to mention when it comes to budget, it is important that you understand that the budget is an outlook. It's a view of the future, right? So it is very important that you track what you are actually doing, okay? The spreadsheet might be telling you, so let's put that $1,000 back as it was. So that was that $1,000 on that particular loan. Okay, let's put that back. So that spreadsheet was telling us that on average we were spending or saving around $14,000 a year, which was roughly $1,200 a month. Okay, but what is reality? This is what we thought we'll be doing, right? But have you actually got some more expenditure, some more unforeseen spend, or some small bills you are not tracking, but they are just adding up to be a bigger number, right? So it is important that you track that. And this is why we say, while you have got a budget which is forward looking, it is important that you come back almost every month, you see what you are actually saving. Okay, so perhaps in the first month you were planning to spend $1,500, but you know what? You save only $1,100 because you had a breakdown of your car and you had to do some emergency repairs. The next month, instead of spending or saving $1,500, maybe one of the bill, your electricity bill, was much lower, right? So you are able to save more, and it was actually $1,700. So the point I'm making is, while you have a budget, your actuals can still deviate, and it's important for you to measure that. Right? Why it's important to measure it? Because if there are some big fluctuations, the budget should be updated. Okay, but budget document, you just don't prepare it once and leave it on, for forever. You need to come back to it periodically to review whether that budget is a good reflection of the reality. This is just a summary of the key points I just took you through, right? So just as a recap, keep your budget simple. Remember that 50-20-30 framework, which is about your needs, your wants, and your savings. And if you want to grow your savings pie, the way to do it is to reduce your needs and your wants. And one to keep an eye on is your debt. Quickly repaying your debt can have a big impact on your personal budget. Alright, it's important to keep track of the actuals because a budget is forward looking. You need to go back and see how you're actually tracking against that budget. Importantly, you need to revisit this budget periodically to make sure that it reflects reality and you make those required changes to that budget. I trust this session on what a budget is and how you can use it to improve your financial well-being was informative. If you like our recordings, please do subscribe to our channel. there's a subscribe button underneath the recording or by clicking on the Excel Coaching logo. Thank you. Until next time.